Hello and welcome to practice. Please come to an upright seat. Have something to sit on. The only other prop we're going to need today is a small inflatable ball, a block, or a folded blanket or pillow. So have those things handy. You may also see that I have Penelope, the model of a pelvis that I use. We are going to be exploring a practice that helps to reduce excess tension in the muscles of the pelvic floor. So, muscles of pelvic floor outside of external anatomy looks very similar across all genders. This is the muscly bottom of the pelvic bowl. And these muscles here, which run between the pubic bone and the tailbone and the two sit bones side to side, this group of muscles responds to the respiratory diaphragm in breathing. And so when we are experiencing periods of stress, these muscles, as well as the respiratory diaphragm, can get tight or have excess tension. And that's true for all of the muscles in our body. It's actually part of a survival mechanism to tense up the muscles under stress so that we can more effectively get away from danger. However, when we're experiencing periods of stress that don't require actual combat or running away, what we're left with is a body that feels very tight and activated. And there are certain areas of the body that can really hold more tension or cause more disturbance when holding tension. We may be very familiar with the neck or the jaw as a highlight of an area that tends to hold tension under stress. The pelvic floor muscles, whether we know it or not, are also a group of muscles that tends to hold a lot of tension under stress for many reasons. This can manifest as pain in the hips or the pelvic area in general, pain in the back. This can also manifest as constipation or difficulty breathing, even fluid retention in the lower body, as these muscles are the sub pump for the lower body. When they are moving regularly with breath, as they are intended to move, then we effectively shuttle fluids up from the lower extremities. One of our main focuses today will be pelvic breathing, the natural movement of the muscles of the pelvic floor with the respiratory diaphragm. No effort is needed. I'll guide you into that. And let's begin. Reclined. Find a comfortable reclined position. You're welcome to take a pillow underneath your head, a bolster for underneath your thighs and knees. I want you to feel supported and comfortable. This practice will be entirely down on the ground, so no standing. Get ready to be reclined, seated, and kneeling. You can rest here with your feet planted and your knees bent up toward the ceiling, or your legs long on your mat, supported perhaps with a bolster or blanket underneath your knees, your thighs. If your legs are extended long and there's any low back discomfort, I will encourage you to bend your knees, plant your feet. So that will tend to be gentler on the low back than legs extended. If your knees are bent, you could choose to pigeon toe your feet and rest your knees together, or just keep them separate. Quiet your eyes. In order for the muscles of the pelvic floor to move well with every breath we take, we want the respiratory diaphragm to move well. So that means we're going to focus first on welcoming the rib cage to expand in all directions with the inhalation. And then with exhalation, feel all of those areas of expansion throughout the rib cage hug inward. As you inhale, rib cage expands. The bottom of your rib cage, the muscly bottom, your respiratory diaphragm descends toward your pelvis. Then as you exhale, the respiratory diaphragm lifts back up towards your skull and your rib cage hugs inward. Let's continue with rib cage breath. Welcoming the whole rib cage to expand in all directions. Welcoming the belly to soften, the back to expand. With your exhalations, all of those areas of expansion gently hug inward. The diaphragm effortlessly ascending toward your skull. Now let's add on pelvic breathing to that rib cage breath. So as you inhale, your rib cage expands, diaphragm descends toward pelvis. Imagine your pelvic bowl expands like your rib cage, and imagine or sense your pelvic floor muscles lengthening so your bowl deepens. Then as you exhale, those pelvic floor muscles effortlessly lift back up toward your belly as the diaphragm lifts back up towards your skull. Continue like this. Your rib cage breath expands and opens into your pelvic breath. It's okay if you aren't sensing the movement of the muscles of your pelvic floor as you breathe. I encourage you just to keep bringing your attention there. Notice if there's any unnecessary holding through the muscles of your pelvic girdle, your gluteal muscles, any gripping in the muscles of your low belly or back. Soften as much as you can here. Allow your body to expand with your inhalation. Follow your exhalations all the way to their end and feel how naturally those pelvic floor muscles lift up. Now, please widen your eyes. We are going to continue to resource pelvic breathing throughout practice. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock a little side to side. Now, please plant your feet down wider than your hips, knees bent up toward the ceiling. Take your arms in cactus arms, your elbows wide, your elbows bent, palms facing up, reclined windshield wipers. Rock your knees from side to side. Take your time, let your knees drop down toward to the ground as far as they go. The muscles that rotate your hips that you are stretching right now are intimately involved with your pelvic floor muscles because of their proximity. They're just so close together that when the pelvic floor muscles are tight, that can cause tightness in the hips, and vice versa. Pause to one side. Just let your knees pause to one side for a moment. Steady your gaze or close your eyes. And let's take a few moments to explore pelvic breathing here. We're always welcoming the rib cage to expand with pelvic breathing. But focus your attention on the movement of the muscles at the base of your pelvis. And then switch knees to the opposite side. A few moments to breathe here. All right, please come back to center. Plant your feet for bridge pose. Take your arms down by your sides for bridge pose and get rid of your blanket. If you had a pillow under your head, slide it out from underneath your head. We're going to move into a baby bridge and we're going to add pelvic breathing in a rhythm to this flow. So as you're ready, let's begin with exhaling everything out. Then inhale here, feel pelvic bowl deepen. Exhale, press your feet down, lift up just a little. Exhale, lift your pelvis up just a little, baby bridge. Then we're going to inhale to set the pelvis back down. Pelvic bowl deepens. Exhale, press your feet down, lift your pelvis up, pelvic floor muscles dome towards your belly. Then inhale, set your pelvis down. Pelvic bowl deepens. Exhale, lift your pelvis up. Pelvic floor muscles are also lifting, feeling perhaps a little tone, engagement. Then as you inhale and set your pelvis down, those pelvic floor muscles lengthen, bowl deepens. Continue like this, just a baby bridge, exhaling to lift and inhaling to set the pelvis back down. If you would like to lift a little higher, you may, but I want you to have enough time to breathe deeply. One more time, flowing, please. And then you'll pause with your pelvis on the ground. Pausing with your pelvis down on the ground. I need you to grab your prop, your ball, or your block for between your knees. Take your ball or your block or your blanket and roll or fold your blanket, place it between your knees, and then from here, walk your feet wide. Okay, so there's a little support between your knees, there's a spacer between your knees, and then you've walked your feet wide. Now you get to decide how far you're walking your feet wide. You're in a supported hip internal rotation, and the wider you walk your feet, the more internal rotation for your hips. No intentional effort is needed in pelvic breathing. We're inviting the rib cage to expand as we inhale, the belly to soften, the back to broaden, the pelvic bowl to deepen. Feel all of those areas of expansion now hug inward and upward as your body breathes out. Your body knows how to breathe deeply. From here, let's scooch the feet back in toward one another. Remove the prop from between your knees. And then take the soles of your feet together with your knees wide. You're in a butterfly, a reclined butterfly position here. And to lift your knees up so you have a little engagement in your inner thighs. So your knees are not dropping all the way down to the ground. Take your arms down on the ground next to your sides for some support. Exhale everything out. We're going to lift slowly and just a little bit at first. As you're ready, deep full breath in, your pelvic bowl deepens. Exhale, press your feet down, lift your pelvis up just a little in this butterfly bridge. You can keep your knees roughly where they are as you lift your pelvis up. Then inhale to set your pelvis back down and exhale to lift your pelvis back up. So, same vinyasa you did with your regular bridge, you're now doing with your butterfly bridge. Baby lifts for now. Focus on the movement of your pelvic floor as you breathe. Continue on your own. You're inhaling to set your pelvis down, your pelvic bowl deepens, and then you're exhaling to lift up. Feel the strength of your glutes, your hamstrings, and also the muscles of your pelvic floor. If you'd like to explore lifting a little higher, you may. Continue in whatever range feels useful for you, so long as you can continue to feel and appreciate the movement of your pelvic floor muscles. This is their regular exercise. With every breath we take, those muscles move. And without that regular exercise, they can get tight and stiff, even when we're not stressed out. Last one, please. All right, once your pelvis is all the way down again, we're going to pause and we're going to roll over to one. We're going to pause. I'm going to remind myself what we're doing. Let's scoot the pelvis over to the right. Lower your pelvis down, so just an inch or so to your right. Extend your left leg on your mat. Hug your right knee to your chest. Your right arm's going to go to your right side, left hand to your right outer knee. Twist your right knee to the left. Roll to the outer edge of your left leg and hip. Your right knee is gonna be hovering here. You don't have to try to draw it all the way down. Just let it hover. Maybe your right foot is resting on your left leg. Maybe it's not. And then let's breathe here. If you need less sensation, allow your knee to lift up toward the sky a bit. If you need more, you can help it down toward the ground. Notice rib cage and pelvic breathing here. It's time to untwist. Come back to center. Scoot your pelvis to the left of center. Extend your right leg on your mat, left knee to your chest. Left arm out to your left side, right hand to your left knee. Twist your left knee over to the right. We have some time here, so you can go slow. You don't have to go to your deepest twist right away. Give your body time to open. And rest your attention in the movement of your pelvic floor muscles as you breathe. The pelvic floor muscles are attached to the pubic bone and the tailbone. You might imagine or even feel in your body that as you inhale, there's a little wag of your tail back away from your pubic bone. As you exhale, your tail subtly curls forward toward your pubic bone. Those muscles are lengthening as you inhale, gently contracting as you exhale. Please exit the twist and make your way to hands and knees. Alrighty, let's start to flow through cow and cat. We are going to have knees down, so if you want padding there, take some padding there and continue to flow. Come back to center. Walk your hands toward your knees. Lift your hands up. Now you're kneeling. Face a long edge of your mat. We're going to come to kneeling warrior 2. Point your right knee and toes to the right. Let your pelvis angle to the right. Take your right arm on the inside of your right leg. Exhale everything out. Inhale, left arm forward and up. Grow tall here. Lift up through your spine, up through left arm, and then side bend to your right. You can land your forearm on your thigh or slide your arm down on the inside of your leg. Let's take an inhale here in the side bend. Then exhale back to center. Float your left arm all the way down. We'll continue like this. Inhale, left arm forward and up. Grow tall. Reach, reach. And then exhale, side bend. Good. Pause here. Take a deep breath in, expanding that left rib cage. And then exhale back to center. So we're going to keep flowing like this. Continue on your own, nice and slow. Mobilizing the rib cage and the respiratory diaphragm so the pelvic floor muscles can move more efficiently. We have 2 more like this. The next time you're in your side bend, we're going to pause and hold it. So keep flowing. Yep, you're doing great. Pause in your side bend. Now you can rest your forearm on your thigh here. And you might be good with your arms and head as they are. Or if your neck needs some support, you could take a look down. You could relax your neck so your head hangs free, or hold your head with your left hand. As you inhale, welcome your rib cage to expand. Sense your diaphragm descend and your pelvic floor muscles lengthen, moving down, your bowl deepens. Then as you exhale, the diaphragm and the pelvic floor effortlessly float back up. Now let's everyone relax neck so head hangs free. Reach your left arm over to your left. Inhale to the left side of your neck. Exhale, reach your fingertips away from your shoulder. Let your head be very heavy. Inhale to left side of neck. Exhale, reach your fingertips away. All right, we're going to lift back up to center here and then lower your arm. Let's switch sides. Right knee down. It's a little bit of a balance challenge. You can take your hands down as you need. Step your left foot over to your left. Left knee and toes to your left, and then let your pelvis angle. Left arm on the inside of your left leg. Exhale everything out. Inhale, right arm forward and up. Grow tall, tall, tall. That'll help you side bend more deeply. And as you exhale, melt into your side bend. You can go slow. We have lots of repetitions to go. Inhale here as you're ready. Then exhale back to center. We'll continue like this. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, melt, supporting yourself as you like. Welcome a full breath in. And then exhale back to center. Continue like this on your own. Feeling the responsiveness of your pelvic floor to your deep breaths. If you're not noticing the movement there, that's okay. Imagine it. That will help your body move in that direction. This last one we're going to hold. And then pausing here. You can support your neck by holding your head, looking down or letting your head hang free. Focus on the feeling of your pelvic breathing. All right, let's everyone relax neck so head hangs totally free. Reach your right arm over to your right. Inhale to the right side of your neck. And then exhale, reach your right fingertips away from your shoulder. One more time like this. Inhale, right side of neck. Exhale, reach your fingertips away. And then use your right hand to help you lift back up to center. Lower your arm and then take both knees down. Get rid of your padding, downward facing dog. And let's settle into down dog together. How does your pelvic breathing feel in this shape? Are you able to soften through your belly as you inhale any more? Softening through your pelvis, allowing the pelvic floor muscles to respond to your breath. Please come forward to plank. Knees down. Inhale here. Exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. Point your toes. Slide your elbows underneath your shoulders for Sphinx pose. Root your elbows down, reach up through your crown. Without moving your forearms, drag them back. Now here we have some abdominal engagement to support this back bend, some gluteal engagement. That will mean your pelvic floor muscles will not be moving probably, as much as you've noticed them move in a more relaxed position. That's okay. That's normal. That's natural. What we don't want is for those muscles to stop moving altogether anytime we put forth effort. So here we have a little effort in this posture. Let's invite some movement to continue to happen at the base of the pelvis by releasing any unnecessary effort, by breathing deeply and focusing on the back body expanding with the breath, the back of your rib cage, your low back, the back of your pelvis, your tail. With your next exhalation, widen your elbows to lower your chest. Let's pause in crocodile. Stack your hands, rest your forehead on them. So here the belly is compressed by the ground. So naturally, as we breathe in, the back of the rib cage will expand more. The sides of the ribs will widen. The low back will feel some space or expansion. And then follow that expansion all the way down through the back of the pelvis to the base of your pelvic bowl. As you exhale, all of those areas of expansion gently hugging inward and upward. Take another few breaths here. And notice if this shape gives you a greater sense of the movement of your pelvic floor muscles than other shapes today. From crocodile, please make your way back to down dog. From your down dog, take your knees down to the ground. And this is a good time to set up for the rest of your practice. We are going to head to the wall for a seated twist, and then we're going to have legs up for some postures. You can turn your lights down or off, get all of your Shavasana goodies close by. I'll suggest you do have a blanket and whatever else you want. And then we'll go to the wall. You can use a couch or a chair seat in lieu of a wall. You can use a door like I'm using here. First, we're going to take a reclined squat. And so we'll lie down, not scooched. Well, you can scooch as close as you want to the wall, actually. And some of us may scooch quite close if we have more range of motion in the hips. The feet will start on the wall or the seat of the couch or chair about hip width, and then I want you to walk them wider than that. Your knees and toes will be pointed out to the sides a little bit, or a lot. Just allow your hips to do whatever they want to do in a deep, wide squat. You might be feeling a stretch through your inner thighs, through your hamstrings. This is also a position that stretches the muscles of your pelvic floor. Good when there's too much tone, too much activity, tightness. If your legs feel like they need any support, like it's too much sensation, you can either decrease your range by walking your feet in toward one another a little bit, or you might take your hands to your outer legs or knees and just gently hold them with as little effort as possible. With every breath, you are nourishing the muscles of your pelvic floor and thus the muscles of your pelvic girdle, your hips, your core muscles, your back. So every breath is a nourishing act, tending to the health of your body. It is time to slowly take hands to outer legs and walk your feet together, and then extend your legs up the wall or rest your legs on the seat of the couch, hip width or so. If you'd like to take a lift underneath your pelvis, sometimes that can feel comfortable. That can also help the legs relax in this position. You're welcome to lift your pelvis up and slide your folded blanket underneath. If you would like to transition to lie flat on your back or in another shape for Shavasana, now's the time. As you're practicing Shavasana, continue to rest your attention in the movement of your breath all the way down to your root, resting into that nourishing rhythm. You may begin to deepen your breath. Move your body any way you need. Eventually, make your way up to your seat. Once you're upright, join your palms together at your heart. As we prepare to take our closing breath, in which we have the aspiration of benefiting others with our practice, let's take a moment to consider others. Consider those you know personally and those you don't know personally who may be suffering, struggling, in need. And with a heartfelt wish that our practice benefits others, let's take one closing breath. We'll begin with an exhalation. And then big in breath, full out breath. And as you're ready, you may release your hands, widen your eyes. Thank you for practicing with me today.